Hello, welcome to Old Nerd Reads Superman Spider-Man #1. This these I got these three covers in an eBay auction. There was a seller on there who was selling sets of these in threes with a different cover artist for each one. There's a million variants for this book, probably like 15 or so. And I picked this one because this is Art Adams. It doesn't really look like Art Adams to me. It's Art Adams' style has changed so much since the 1980s. It's still good, but it doesn't have the detail, the energy, the excitement, the sparkle. It doesn't have the jazz anymore. But I got it because it was the Art Adams one. I was really curious about this. I'm sure there's plenty of old nerds who remember back in, 75, 76, when Marvel and DC got together and they did Superman, Spider-Man. And a couple years later, they did a second one. Who wrote the first one? The art was Ross Andru. I can't remember who wrote it, though. Jerry Conway, maybe? And then a couple years later, they did a second one, and John Buscema did the artwork. I can't think of who the heck wrote that second one, but they're highly they're thought very highly of by the old nerd crew. A lot of people remember them fondly. Those books. The first one you could get as a Treasury edition, a big old thing, and they were very well liked. And so Marvel and DC not doing real well selling these days. A lot of their stuff I don't think is very good. I don't really buy any new comics ever, once in a while. But this intrigued me. And when I saw that there was an Arthur Adams cover, I was like, I'll give it a shot. And I'm not real happy with the results. This is the Arthur Adams cover. This is by Clayton Crane. I'm not sure who he is, but decent cover, nothing great. And this one is Nakayama, David Nakayama, maybe. I think that's what the DNA stands for. Again, not a bad cover, not that great either. What is this? The Superman of that Mark Waid limited series, Kingdom, the Kingdom. Is that the costume that he wore in that? And he has the gray sideburns because he's older. There's a bunch of different, they used a lot of different eras of Spider-Man and Superman to make these variant covers. There's a Superboy and Spider Kid cover. There's a Supergirl and Spider Gwen or something. I don't know. But they used a whole, there's a Spider-Man 2099 cover, and I forget which version of Superman they use for that, but there's just all kinds of variant covers. Like, you'd go broke buying them all. Like, this is $9. If I would have had no problem paying $9 for this had the story been good, but it's not. And it's not like it's just one story. I don't know how many pages this is, but it's at least 64 pages, I would say. It's got to be right around there, but it's got several stories in it. It's not just one story. And when you bought the old ones, you got it like a double-sized comic like this, but it was all one epic length story, written by one guy, drawn by one guy, basically. This has I don't know how many stories are in here, and they're all trash. They're all throwaway. The first one is not bad. The first one is written by Mark Waid, and despite Mark Waid's personality, he's an excellent comic book writer, and he does a very good job on this. This one is Brainiac and Dr. Octopus, and it's pretty good. we start right off with Peter Parker and Clark Kent. They know each other. They're working together. They're going to do some reporting and photography together for their newspapers. But basically, this just treats the two like, they've always known each other, and that's kind of how all the stories in here go. But this first story was Spider-Man, Superman, written by Mark Waid. Artwork's pretty good. Story's pretty good. Neither one are great, but out of all of them in here, this is the longest one. And I don't even think it's like a 22 pager, really. Maybe it is. But see, this says after Ross Andru. So I'm wondering if there was a pinup in that old original Superman, Spider-Man that Ross Andru did that looks something like that. I don't know. I have it tucked away somewhere. So here's all the other stories that are jammed in here after the first main story. Lois Lane and Mary Jane, Tom King written, Jim Lee drawn with Scott Williams. So you got the classic Jim Lee, Scott Williams art team on this. And you've got a Superboy Prime, Amazing Spider-Man story, Superboy and Spider-Man 2099, Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen and Carnage, Jonathan Kent and Ben Parker, Daily Planet and the Daily Bugle. And then, oddly, at the very end, we've got Power Girl and the Punisher. And these all stink. I'm sorry, they just do. There's nothing good about them. It's cheese. It's really no good. I hate to say it. I mean, even Jim Lee, his artwork is not that great, I don't think. Everybody loves Jim Lee, and I used to like his stuff. I still like his old stuff, but this is just not good. And the point of this story seems to be, we've got there's an homage to Days of Future Past X-Men because they're fighting a Sentinel. But the whole reason for this story seems to be to let Jim Lee draw Gambit again. You got a Harris card deck, like Bob Harris, who was editor-in-chief probably back in those days of Marvel Comics. But the whole point was to get this Gambit double-page spread, I think. So Jim Lee could draw Gambit again. Why? What do we care? Why are we doing this? This is supposed to be Superman, Spider-Man. I mean, and this is supposed to be a Lois Lane, Mary Jane Watson story, but it's so dumb. It's so dumb. They're the girlfriends of the superheroes, and they just traipse around while there's a huge battle going on. It is so, I don't get it. No, it's pointless. And then here we got Superboy and Spider-Man. And I don't know what's going on here. Why are we in our underwear? Superboy broke into Spider-Man's apartment because of the alien symbiote costume. And why is he naked? I mean, okay, Peter got back from being Spider-Man and he's taking off his costume and relaxing, and then there's somebody in your apartment. It's sup. It's so bad. This story, I didn't even know what was going on in this story. We've got the High Evolutionary in it. Why? I don't remember. Something about this was such a weird idea. Superboy has broken into the Marvel Comics of Spider-Man. It's meta. I don't know. I don't get it. I do not get it. It made no sense. And then, okay, now here's Spider-Man 2099 with Superboy. Now who is this artist? He did Batman White Knight. The heck is his name? Sean Murphy. He wrote and drew this. And again, Sean Murphy's art's cool. He does a decent job with the art. And I don't even remember what this is about. We get Doom 2099 in it, Brainiac. We get, oh, I guess this is the point. We have future Batman. What the heck's his name? Batman Beyond. We have him in here. Like, and that's the end. I don't even understand. This one is strange. Jimmy Olsen and Carnage, written by Matt Fraction, art by Steve Lieber. This one makes no sense. Carnage murders Jimmy Olsen. That's the point of this. He brutally hacks him up, murders him. And I don't know. I don't get it. Why? This one made no sense. This one's Jonathan Kent and Ben Parker. They save some kids who are drowning in a river. Take them back to the Mom and Pa Kent residence or whatever, and give them some hot cocoa. And I don't know. This one, okay, here's this one. Greg Rucka, Nicola Scott. This is the Daily Bugle and what's the name of the Daily Planet, the Daily Bugle. Just, it's a debate between, an on-camera debate between J. Jonah Jameson and Lois Lane. I don't even, talking about why J. Jonah Jameson doesn't like Spider-Man, even though Spider-Man's a hero. It just doesn't, it's not satisfying. It's not a story. It's just like a little comedy sketch. All of these are just like little comedy sketches, and they're not funny. This is the weirdest one. This is the Punisher and Power Girl. Punisher's trying to break in and get into some club that's run by gangsters or something. So he got a job as the doorman, bodyguard, bouncer kind of thing. Power Girl shows up for a blind date. They kind of have a little flirtation here. She goes in to meet her date. He bores her. Now, doesn't that look like Amanda Conner drew that? Amanda Conner's drawn Power Girl a few times. That looks like exactly like Amanda Conner would have drawn her. A little bit there, but not as much. But the Punisher breaks in and big fight ensues. There's all kinds of criminals in there from Marvel and DC both. And Power Girl and the Punisher team up. And then after they've cleaned everybody's clock, destroyed the place, they sit down together and have a drink in the middle of it. And they decide to have a one-night stand. And Power Girl carries Punisher off. And that's the end. It's just like comedy sketches, like almost like Saturday Night Live sketches or something. But they're not funny. They're not clever. They're not stories. They're just dumb. I guess there's going to be, as you see on all these, the DC logo comes before the Marvel logo on all these. So I guess what the deal is now Marvel is going to do their own version of it. I don't know if that's come out yet or if it's about to come out maybe. But I'm not going to be getting it. This one was terrible enough. I thought maybe I'd keep this one since it's an Arthur Adams cover, but I don't even really like the cover. Superman does not look good. Spider-Man kind of does. The best part of the cover maybe is like the coloring. That's probably the case with all three of them, actually. I figured I'd like maybe sell the other two and keep this one since it's Arthur Adams, but I don't even think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to get rid of all of them. This was a giant waste of money. And that's why I don't get new comics, because that's the way I feel about it. By the time I get excited about a new one that I hear about or read about or see on the shelf at the LCS, I'm like, all right, I'll give it a try. And almost every single time I'm disappointed, or it does not feel like they understand these characters anymore. They just do whatever they want with them now. And it seems to be the case here too. Like Mark Waid, I think he did fine. in the first story. They should have just let Mark Waid write the whole thing and had him draw, or had him write a double length Marvel, or an annual length story, is what they should have done. But here we are. Yeah, this is why I don't really buy new comics. That's why when I also do on this channel Marvel, or I read my Marvel comics in order. I do a video series like that. So I'm back in the 1970s, right about the time the original Superman Spider-Man book came out. That's where I'm at right now, reading my Marvel comics in order. So if that sounds cool, subscribe, check that out. But yeah, I can't recommend these. I really can't. There's nothing to recommend here at all. So if you were thinking about it, I would say don't. But if you got to find out for yourself, maybe you'll like it. I don't know. I don't personally care for it one bit. So that's it. I know this turned out to be kind of a trash talk on this comic, but I apologize. But I just don't care for it. So yeah. Anyway, stick around for more comic book reviews. Also, I do the reading my Marvel comics in order video series. So if that sounds cool, please subscribe. Share this with somebody you think might enjoy it. If you would, comment and like. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.